Good news! We now have a new method of getting Aranya in your party. Just like the Adamantoise glitch, I'm giving credit where it's due. All credit goes to Firun. He is a Japanese Final Fantasy XV glitcher enthusiast. I contacted him, and he gave me permission to make this guide on his behalf for us English speakers to enjoy. It's a hell of a lot easier than the Adamantoise glitch, and there won't be any double loading issues most of you guys experience with this method. It's quick and easy. So thank you Firun for sharing. For easy access, I'll leave his Twitter and YouTube links in the video description. Now the preparations for this glitch. If you're using the offer regalia like me, you'll need to revert it back to the normal regalia because you won't be able to access it when you have Aranya in your party. And rent out a chocobo since we need to use the dash to chocobo action in combat for this method. At least 2 days worth since we will be camping first. Alright, now we got that done. Let's auto drive and park our regalia over here. And just from the parking lot, we'll just be using the camera next to it. So let me just, oh sorry, get over here. Yep, so we'll camp here and eat for a crispy cheese pizza since we will be running a lot.
Camping. Again.
Well, you got a problem with camping?
Then we are going to wait until nightfall.
Let's hit it.
And return to car. Since loading is actually faster than running to a regalia. I don't know why, but yeah. And we are going to fast travel over here to the Nebula Wood parking spot.
Let's head on out.
Okay, now that we are here, we are going to auto drive to our glitch location here, the Kilim Haven camp. If you're wondering why we didn't start at Kilim Haven camp, well, the wait until nightfall option makes the time at 19, and we needed a little bit past 20 for demons to spawn, so you're going to have to wait for an hour to pass. At least with what I did, you won't be waiting around for 20, as it's already 20 for you when you fast travel to the Nebula Wood parking spot. Alright, let's head to our camp and spawn some demons. So it's around here. And summon enemies. Huh. Don't go too far out. We just need them around these trees. So I think it should be somewhere. Let's try again here. Alright, perfect. There you go. So let's go back to the camp.
We got company.
Wizard loves company. It's time.
Alright, let's call a chocobo. And remove all warp striking weapons off of Noctis. And let's go to camera and make sure that's off on alley cutaways.
Shall we camp here?
So how this works is we're going to warp strike here, and then we're going to switch characters. And when you switch characters, Noctis is going to drop. And as soon as he touches the ground, you're going to open your menu and use the dash to chocobo option. And then you're going to let the chocobo maneuver a little bit, and then when he takes a few steps, you're going to use any kind of buff item or whatever on Noctis. When you do that, the camera will switch back to the character you're controlling. And when that happens, you're going to run like hell to the camp and open the camp menu. So you should be able to do that before you switch back to Noctis. So this part sucked because the demon kind of pulled me in. So every time you redo this, make sure you call the chocobo, because when you keep calling it using the dash to chocobo, there are some times the chocobo could get stuck in these trees. So make sure it's always out in the open so you could easily get to it. So again, we're going to switch characters, and as soon as Noctis touches the ground, you're going to use dash to chocobo, and then when the chocobo moves a little bit, and then you're going to use the buff item on Noctis, and then you're gonna run like hell to the camp. So I barely missed it there. So let me just cut this to the point where I get it right. So we're gonna do this. Alright, so this is a good cut that I did. So we're gonna warp strike. That's the wrong one. So we always need to have Noctis Dangling. That's how it's gonna work. We're gonna have him dangling, switch characters, touch the ground, dash the chocobo. Like so.
Easy now.
The chocobo get Noctis. Let him maneuver a little bit, take a few steps, and use any buff items on Noctis. Then switch
Thanks for the ride.
and run like hell. And then open the menu. And there you go. Now that you have the camp window open, you can freely move around, so we are going to go back towards our regalia. And make sure not to jump or attack, as that would make you camp or close the window, and you'll have to redo this all over again. Let me show you this. From my experience, demons usually spawn at these locations. Since we're at our regalia, we're going to make our way up and try to spawn as many demons as we can, so that will likely make Aranea appear to help. And if Aranea doesn't appear yet, go past that camp and spawn these demons up here. And then make your way back down and keep doing laps like that until she does. And she usually appears to help at these two locations here. I don't think Aranea's coming. I don't see the lights shining down on us.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, okay, let's move to the next spot then. Wait, I hear a ship. Is that... Oh yeah, that is Aranea. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go back in combat.
Wow, this one's no joke.
And let's get her to join our party. Then I'm just gonna wait for her to... Oh yeah, there she goes. She just dropped down there. And we're just going to camp.
Right here.
And that's basically it. I do want to say that the game did crash and close on me once every so often when I was practicing this before I decided to record. But as easy as this is, it's not too much trouble to redo this again anyway, so it's okay.
Keep it moving.
Once you camped, you'll switch back to Noctis. And you can probably tell from the HUD, Aranea's not with us, but she actually is. So if you open the menu, and yeah, see, there she is. And for her to show up, all you have to do is switch Noctis' attire, like so. But this game is bugged, so you can't camp like that, it doesn't come up, and you also can't save. So all you have to do is just load your autosave from the camp.
Let's make trucks.
And there you go.
Yeah, let's.
You can now camp and save your files normally. But I won't be saving since I need these other files for Aranea projects I'm still working on. Also, here, let me go here, manage game, and here. It's version 1.3, which is the final update for Final Fantasy 15. Same thing with the Adamantoise glitch. When you have Aranea in a party, you can't use the Offer Regalia, go fishing, access the time quest, and the Final Fantasy 14 crossover event, and sail in a royal vessel. The game would just crash if you do. I don't know why you ever think of this, but if you need to remove Aranea from a party, depending how far you are in the Chocobo racing, challenging Iris in a race will be the fastest way in doing so. If not, encountering another Aranea at night, or entering the Pitios dungeon, or fighting Arden will remove her too. But if you're doing a chapter select, some story events or side quests and whatever quests will remove party members, which will also remove Aranea, so be careful. And again, I would like to thank Firu for allowing me to make this guide using his method, as he wants people to enjoy the game even more with these glitches. And as mentioned earlier in the video, he is a Final Fantasy 15 glitcher enthusiast, so he also knows how to get Iris and Core in a party as well. So if you're interested, pretty sure you are, go check his YouTube channel or contact him on Twitter. I've talked to him in Japanese, but I've seen a few comments in English from him, so you should be able to communicate with him. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more of Aranea, the cards should pop up right now.
Is it that time already?
What time?
Quitting time. Sorry, but this girl doesn't work after hours. I could, but there wouldn't be a single gill in it for me. We should play again sometime, pretty boy.